Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're getting ready for the upcoming season. There's definitely lots of snow on the ground and it's almost that time. Well, today I'm excited. We've got this brand new 2026 Backcountry X-RS 850 Turbo. Almost there, ready to go. Gonna give you guys a full walk around on this new sled. Let's get into it.
Sledaddicz is brought to you by Team Vincent Motorsports, Bergstrom Carbides, Ledger Performance, Westway Motel, Studboy Studs, and Radio World.
Finally, I've had some time to actually get this thing together and give you guys a first look at the new 2026 850 Backcountry X-RS Turbo. Beautiful looking sled in Scandi blue with some really nice red accents. Really loving the color this year, finally. I liked last year's color. I know not too many people liked the 25 color Backcountry, but I kind of liked that sort of like weird yellowy green color, but this certainly I think is going to look a lot better on snow, and really beautiful light blue, which I'm always a fan of. And kind of like when you get up to it and you actually look at it, I don't know, to me it's kind of like more of an orangey red than red, and it's just a really good looking sled overall. So I'm going to give you guys kind of a full tour, full walkthrough so far of how I've got the sled set up for this season. Not too much in terms of changes, but I'll give you guys just a couple of snippets so you can see what's going on with this one. So first things first, kind of carry this over to all of my backcountries. It's still in pretty decent shape, but that's the low windshield with a matte black wrap finish on it. And I just like it that way. I think it ties together the rest of the sled nicely. And you know, all the panels on it are matte black as well. So for the most part, it just kind of cleans up the look, and I love it. I think it looks awesome. What I haven't done yet, but eventually will get done, is going to be the matching handguards. The lucky guy who got my LinQs, I actually left them on there for him because he liked the look so much. So my buddy Zach, he ended up with, you know, that low matching windshield. Same thing with the handguards. So that's going to have to be replaced. That's kind of like the last thing I've got done. Up front, gonna have the Bergstrom 6-inch triple points on those Pilot RX skis again this year. Awesome setup, phenomenal handling. You guys know that we love our Bergstroms. They pretty much outlast everything else there is out there. And I've got the, they're gonna have the rubber shims up front as well, just to help with the shimming of the skis, just to make sure that I've got even wear on those carbides. And then I'm gonna run the Pro 36s probably for this year, just because I have a Pro 46 set that's on the bench, but they're not ready to go yet, as far as they got like 5,500K on them last year, so they're gonna need a full rebuild. So they're not ready to go, so I'm gonna leave this one stock up front for now until I decide what to do with those shocks. And then just kind of coming around the back, got our Sledaddicz diamond pattern knee pads installed on this machine, which definitely loving the look of them. I think they look awesome, really clean everything up and provide that extra protection and padding and grip for your knees. And just overall, they've been doing really well for us. People seem to just be loving them. And you know, I just love the look as well when you add them to the sled. I think they look awesome. Got my aluminum anodized black gas cap that I put on all my sleds, as well as LinQ, which Cam from the dealership installed for me. And then I usually add this handlebar pad setup as well. Now, the one thing I have not switched over yet is my adjustable riser. And I'm just on the fence because it's probably running like 6 years now. And it started kind of automatically just sort of coming down. It doesn't seem to be holding the top position anymore. So I'm gonna play around with it just to see if there's anything wrong with it before I actually decide to mount it up. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it stock with the stock riser and the pad on it. And then what you will notice is my BPR ergonomic brake lever. These are sick. awesome feeling brake lever. And that's just something that our buddy Jeff, if you guys watch any of the videos, who unfortunately isn't going to be riding with us this year, but this was an add-on that he introduced me to a few years ago, and ever since I've tried one, I certainly am not going back to a stock brake lever. Really nice piece. Beautiful piece there. All right, so you're going to notice also that I have the raised kind of gauge on here. So this is the this is the gauge relocation kit, or the gauge relocator. And what it does is it lifts up the gauge about 2.5 inches in height from the bottom. So you can see there's quite a bit of space down here. And when I actually sit on the sled, I love the angle. It shows now that it's definitely in the perfect field of view when you're looking down the trail, and really nice vision for the screen, which is great. So the gauge relocation kit's pretty cool. And you know, you've got a little bit of room in the glove box up here as well to put your phone in there, for the heated case, which is still in here. And then, you know, maybe I keep my tool kit in here as well. Do not keep this in the clutch compartment area. It will eventually come loose and destroy your clutches. So I don't have too much that I'm going to put in here. This is new for me this year to try this setup. I'm really used to the old style glove box extension, which gives you a little bit more room in there and kind of opens down from the front. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the GPS setup in a second, but wanted to show you guys the gauge relocation kit. And I've also got a full install video that I did to kind of show you how that works. So super nice add-on. Definitely looking forward to getting this thing out on the trail to see, again, kind of that perfect field of vision straight in front of me. I've always complained over the years, you know, love the new gauge, just never really liked the position of it. I always felt like it was just way too far down. And even if you put a riser on, it's even worse. You're going to cut out more of the gauge so you can't even see the screen. So nice little kind of Band-Aid solution from Skidoo for now that I'm going to run on this sled and try that out this year. Absolutely love it so far. You'll also maybe notice that I like to switch the position of my kill switch. So I point that forward a little bit just in case when I'm standing, you know, I'm not slamming into it and turning off the sled by accident. So I do that on all my sleds, just really easy. They turn pretty much, they're not tightened up all the way, so you can just kind of spin it forward and get it nice and out of the way. Love our TVM tags this year, or the keychains that go on all the sleds. They did a nice job with the leather finish here. Beautiful. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the GPS setup. So we get a lot of questions over the years, you know, well, if you guys are running the 10.25 display, well, what the hell do you need a Garmin for? I would say the reason is because there's really nothing that's more reliable and more accurate than having a Garmin with you all the time. We've been in places, you know, where maybe perhaps there's not any cell phone signal, and, you know, we had the app crash, the BRP Go app crash. We've been testing it a lot over the years, and just simply find that we can do a lot more, and the accuracy and reliability of a Garmin is pretty much second to none. And that's why we do run the Garmins, and we're going to continue to run the Garmins, you know, into this season as well. Now, as far as the setup, you can see it's a super easy setup. I'll just pull that off so you guys can see what's going on here. I decided to go with kind of this little ram mount setup, and you know, drilled a separate hole with a grommet for the wire in behind there. And really, it just allows for this to be a little bit more flexible with how this setup works. And that's how it works. It kind of slides back in order to get inside the glove box extension. Now the challenge is this hits the windshield, right? So because it opens differently this year and this slides forward, you really only get to open it a little bit. That's about as much as I'll be able to open it, but it's enough to get whatever I need to get inside there. But really wanted to make sure that it was a slick setup. I wanted it right in line with the gauge, kind of like a nice double stack setup. Really reminds me of like the bass boats with the, you know, with the fish finder setup that they've got usually on the front, but really happy with how it turned out. And, you know, pretty simple to run that wire all the way through, and it's going to come all the way to the back of the sled. So my last thing to finish up is just to do the connection underneath the battery here. I'm not sure if everybody knew that. I think initially when these sleds came out, the turbos with the shot, I mean, everybody thought there wasn't a battery, but there actually is one underneath here. And that's what we usually connect it to on the turbos to get full power. So a little bit different than the 900s or the old 850s, where inside here, and this is where my Garmin cable is right now. So you can see I just run it through there underneath. But in here, on most of the other sleds, there's a solenoid, and that's what we were tapping for power before. So instead, on the turbos, we're gonna run power right from the battery. It's gonna come kind of under the seat underneath here, and it will connect it, make our connection in here. So just waiting on some automotive wire so I can tighten that up and finish that up this week, which will be awesome. All right, so let's talk about, well, let's start with the tunnel first. So obviously wanted to do our shims again like we do on all of our sleds this year, just to protect that tunnel. It's got that beautiful finish on it. In the 850s, you know, the two strokes typically do not come with this, which is the rad protector. Now, I don't run one anymore because we came out with the shim product that I think just looks nicer and serves kind of the same purpose. Plus, it's much easier to put our shims on, use all the existing hardware versus having to, you know, drill out holes throughout the tunnel and then install the rad protector on the two strokes. Not a fan of that. I never was. I mean, I used to do it. But, you know, I'd much rather have something that's custom looking, like you see these ones here, which are custom carbon fiber with color matched text to the sled. I think they look fantastic. And not only that, it's just a super simple add-on that works and is always going to protect the back of that tunnel really nicely. All right, so let's show you guys what's going on in the rear of the sled here. And this track I really fell in love with last year. This is the Storm track, so it's got, you know, the 1.25 inch lugs on the outside as well as the 1.5 inch lug on the inside. And we're going to be running, as always, our Stud Boy power points with the double super light backers, and these things hold really well. Never had one pull out. Those are big studs. Those are 1.625 studs, so we typically have started running bigger studs just based on some recommendations from Chris Ledger over at Ledger Performance and some of my other buddies, and it's worked out really well for us. Awesome traction, wicked hookup, great all-around track for trail riding as well as off-trail riding. Just does an awesome job. I really love it. It's a great track. Now the backcountries you can see up there also come with the scratchers installed, and I did actually go through, I run the scratchers quite a bit on the backcountries. You will find the 146s do tend to heat up a little bit more compared to a 137. And I went through 2 sets of those last year, which is fine. That's what they're for. It's a wear item. Not really a big deal, but probably one of my all-time favorite sleds that they've ever come out with is this machine right here. I absolutely love the 850 turbo power, and the sled handles awesome for all the different types of riding that I do. Let's put that windshield back on. But just overall, I think they've done an awesome job this year with the color combos. So I think this one's going to look sweet on the snow. And certainly excited to get it out. But that's kind of the overview on the new 2026 Backcountry X-RS 850 Turbo. Thing is absolutely sick. Just a beautiful looking sled. Super excited to get it out on the trail, which hopefully will be a couple of weeks out when we get up to Cochrane. Start prepping trails, but one sexy looking ride. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.